Greetings, mighty companions, and welcome back to Practical and Healing Applications of A Course in Miracles with me, Anna Kujawa Quinn. And as you can see, my Monday night classes I'm doing from my home on Shadow Mountain for the winter. So like on nights like tonight, I would never have been made it down to the Miracle Center to teach in person. And so when during the winter time, I've noticed that the snowstorms would always happen on Mondays when I was teaching in the evenings at the Miracle Center. So for the winter, all of my Monday night classes will be here on my Facebook channel, or maybe on my YouTube channel as well soon. I was looking at that tonight, thinking about broadcasting live on YouTube as well, so I may start with that next week. If you are watching this on YouTube and you would like to support these ideas in this ministry moving out into the world so that more people can hear these ideas, join with them, and save the world from more pain and disaster, then like, share, and subscribe. That encourages the algorithms to push this message, this class, out to more viewers. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. I appreciate that too. Like my necklace. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, I already did the random number generator prayer in the bathtub before class. And what it came up with is it came up with the third book in the Course in Miracles, which is the Teacher's Manual. And there are 29 sections in the Teacher's Manual. So I put then 29 into the random number generator, and it pulled up question number 12. So question number 12 in the Teacher's Manual. Okay? And this question, the Teacher's Manual, is for teachers. It's for us, teachers, the teachers of A Course in Miracles. Anybody who studies A Course in Miracles is interested in the Course in Miracles is somebody who, according to A Course in Miracles, is a teacher of love, a teacher of God, same thing. And as a teacher of love who's interested in this curriculum where you're accepting the ideas of love for yourself that you might share them with the world and bring healing to your world, there are many questions that teachers and healers in this particular curriculum often come up with. And so the author of the course has brought these questions out to help us out. Okay, if the Course in Miracles says that what we're doing here is we're here to accept the ideas, accept the truth about ourselves that we find in the text of A Course in Miracles, the truth of ourselves as not a body, as a spirit, as deathless, as sinless, as guiltless, as free, as only love. These are the ideas that are being presented to us, about us, in the text of A Course in Miracles. And then the purpose of the curriculum, because it is a curriculum, then the purpose of it is to accept these ideas for ourselves that we may extend them to others. And in accepting these ideas for ourselves and then extending them to others, we are fulfilling our function as teachers and healers. The Course in Miracles tells us that in order to truly accept the loving truth about ourselves, that the way to do that is to share that with others, to remind others that they too are innocent, that they too are innocent and guiltless, no matter what mistakes that they have made, that they too are a loving and lovable creation of a loving creator. That the only way to truly accept it for yourself is to share it with others. The only way to truly come to believe something for yourself is to help others to remember that about them. That's the premise of A Course in Miracles. It is a curriculum. It's a spiritual path. It's also a curriculum. And so its purpose is practical. It's a practical application curriculum where you learn how to accept it for yourself and then you learn how to share it with others, which is what integrates it and solidifies it in your own mind, in your own awareness. So this teacher's manual is for us who, once we have taken in the ideas that we find in the text, how do you share them with others? Especially, how do you share them with a world that has a lot of resistance to these ideas? How do you share these ideas, right? And so the teacher's manual has a lot to say about that. All right. So hello, Kathy. Hi, Dan. Lovely to see you all. Lovely to see your names and to feel your beautiful energy. Thank you for joining this healing circle today. All right. And don't forget, I welcome your questions and your comments. I love questions. I love taking your questions and talking about how to apply these ideas to what you're asking about. It helps everybody who watches whenever we watch it. So this is, I dedicate this to us. I titled this, How Many of Us Does It Take to Save the World? So of course, A Miracle says that that's your function. That's your job here, is to help to save the world, to take your part among the healers of the world. That's your, the Course in Miracles says that is the natural profession of the children of God, the children of light. That's our natural profession, is to be helpful, to want to help humanity to awaken and to heal. Because ultimately, that's how we heal. As we help others to heal, that's how we heal. So I dedicate this to all of us who have decided that we want to take our place among the healers of the world. Anybody who wants to be healed is somebody who needs to accept, needs to learn how to be a healer. That's what A Course in Miracles tells us, that in order to be healed, you learn how to heal. So we are learning how to be healers, healers of the world, which is what in this section is referred to as saving the world. You know, how many teachers and healers does it take to save the world? Does it take to heal the world? So A Course in Miracles is all about the healing of the world. Not just the healing of these people, not just the ascension of these people, not just the good of these people, but the healing of all of humanity. That is what A Course in Miracles is about. It is not a self-serving curriculum where how can I get more, be more myself. This is a curriculum that is, whose goal is the awakening and the healing of all of mankind, all of us, not just some. And as you take your part in the healing of mankind, then the healing of mankind comes closer in time to everyone. So, good for you in deciding that you want to be part of the solution, that you want to help humanity to awaken, instead of just get a little bit more for yourself. Okay? If getting some for yourself and getting a little more for yourself was going to make you happy, then you would have already become blissed out by now. Okay? So it should be obvious to us that the purpose of getting something for ourselves, something so that we have a little bit more, so that we are a little bit more, so that we are a little bit better, so that we are different from them, that purpose has not made us happy. It has not fulfilled us. You know, looking out for number one has not brought us to that level of feeling of completion and fulfillment that we all desire. It has actually made the world sicker. And so we're learning in A Course in Miracles what it really means to be fulfilled, what it really means to be happy. And surprise, surprise, it has nothing to do with getting something for yourself alone. It's more money, more specialness, more power, fame, money, physical pleasure for yourself. You know, the old adage, you know, whoever dies with the most toys wins. That's not what A Course in Miracles talks about. if that truly was the case, then whoever had the most specialness, power, fame, money, physical pleasure would be the most happy. But we have seen that that is not the case. So we are going to learn even more in this section today. How do you really fulfill your function of taking your place among the healers of the world? What is really your job and your function as a teacher and healer for humanity? What does that mean to be a teacher and a healer for humanity? So we're going to talk about that today, and I hope that it inspires you to want to accept the truth for yourself even sooner, so that you can turn around and bring it to humanity even sooner, so that humanity can all the sooner awaken and have a comprehensive reawakening that humanity so desperately needs right now. Right now, humanity is on the brink of extinction because humanity has this old goal of the one who has the most wins, and this old goal of getting more for myself. And it is bringing humanity to the brink of extinction, self-destruction. So you as a teacher and a healer, you who've decided that you want to be helpful to helping humanity to wake up, you are the ones who are saving the world. You know, the world isn't saved by a savior, one savior who comes in riding on a white cloud. According to A Course in Miracles, the world is saved by us because we are the world. And it wasn't someone out there who condemned the world, it was us. And so it's us who have projected our fears onto the world and used the world for our selfish purposes. It's us who have endangered the world. And that's why it's us who are to save the world. So good job deciding to take your place among the saviors of the world. And on behalf of humanity, I thank you very much. What greater purpose could you serve in the world, being in a body? All right, you guys, so we are in the teacher's manual, and we are in question number 12. And the question is, how many teachers of God are needed to save the world? Okay? And what's a teacher of God? That's somebody who's decided to be a voice for love in the world. Because what is God? God is only love. That is what God is. God is the infinite mind of love that created us just like it. An infinite, creative, loving mind. Okay? So how many teachers of God, how many teachers of love are needed to save the world? Well, how many? Hi, Janet. Hi, Demi. Lovely to see you. The answer to this question is one. One completely perfect teacher. What's a wholly perfect teacher? That's a teacher whose learning is complete. And one wholly perfect teacher whose learning is complete suffices. So all it really takes is one of us to fully and completely learn the truth about themselves. Okay? That's really all it takes to save the world, is one teacher of God. Who's what? Who's one teacher who's perfect, who's wholly perfect, whose learning is complete. Okay? Us right now, our learning isn't complete. We still make a lot of exceptions in applying the truth. Yeah, only love is real except for them, and except for now, and except for that. Okay? We're still making lots of exceptions. The perfect teacher, the teacher whose learning is complete, is the one who is not making any of those exceptions in the universal truth. Okay? That's what a wholly perfect teacher is. They don't make exceptions. They apply the truth of equality and guiltlessness to everyone and everything all the time, no exceptions, right? Okay, we're not there yet, but when one teacher, one person does accomplish that, then basically it's all done for everyone. Okay? And you could say, well, it has been done by one before, and if you're going to say that, well, okay, it has been accomplished by one teacher, then that has to mean that it's available and already accomplished at some level already, and that all we have to do is tune into what's already been accomplished. And that is kind of what A Course in Miracles says. All of this healing of mankind already has been accomplished. It just we're just not aware of it, and we are developing our awareness to see what already was. So it says, this one teacher who has accepted the truth for themselves, this one teacher becomes the self who is the creation of God. And what does that mean? It means this one teacher who was always Holy Spirit now no longer sees themselves as a body or even as in a body. So a teacher who accepts themselves as they were created by God is the teacher who always was nothing but spirit, now only sees themselves as only a spirit. They don't see themselves as a body or in a body. Okay, that's a teacher whose learning is complete. I've accepted myself as I was created by God, which means I don't see myself as a body and I don't see myself in a body. Okay, so that's how I know that I am not a wholly perfect teacher yet, but it does remind me of what my learning goal is here. My learning goal is to accept the fact that I have remained as God created me, which means I remain a spirit and completely spirit, only spirit, and nothing else. That I don't see myself as a body, and I don't see myself even as in a body. Okay, so that is our goal as teachers and healers, to accept that truth for ourselves. Okay, and to have and accept only that truth. Great. Therefore, the teacher who has accepted themselves as they were created by God and sees themselves as they have always been spirit and no longer see themselves as in a body or as a body, therefore this teacher is limitless, and being limitless, this teacher's thoughts are joined with God's thoughts forever and forever. Whew. Imagine being a teacher. Imagine just having your thoughts joined with God's thoughts forever and forever. When you know the truth about yourself, when you know your universal self, and that you are a spirit and that you are not a body, when you know that about yourself and you have accepted that perfectly for yourself, then you are limitless and your thoughts are joined with God's forever and forever. Okay, good to know. Okay, so at least I know what I'm working toward here. And so every time I practice the idea that I am a spirit, I'm not a body, I'm limitless, I don't have the limits that I don't have the limits that a body has. Every time I practice that idea, I am also teaching that idea, and I am helping humanity to accept that for themselves. And anyone who accepts that they are a spirit and that they are limitless is somebody who is going to feel less burdened and less afraid. And so if I'm not a body, I'm a spirit, and I am limitless, then the limits that I feel limit me right now, the burden that I feel like limits me right now, is not real.
Would all be lifted.
Yeah, it would all be lifted. It's not real. All right. I love it. Like the Course tells us, you don't have to believe these ideas and accept them completely to benefit from them. Why? Because they're true. So because they're true, You don't have to believe them or understand them to benefit from them. And just your willingness to say them, to practice with them, to apply them, to share them, you automatically get the benefit of them because they are true. All right. So we're still talking about this one teacher, this one holy, perfect teacher, that the only one perfect, holy, the one holy, perfect teacher, the only one that's needed to save the world. We're talking about this teacher now that is not us yet, but that we are working our way towards and becoming more like this teacher. This teacher's perception of themselves is based on God's judgment and not their own. So the holy, perfect teacher, one whose learning is complete, that is someone who the only thing that they accept and believe about themselves is what their creator says about themselves. They don't accept and believe about themselves what they have learned about themselves or taught themselves. They don't accept anything about themselves that somebody else has taught them about themselves. A teacher whose learning is complete has accepted themselves as their creator created them, not their parents, not anyone from the past, not even what they think about themselves. That's what a perfect teacher of love has accomplished. The only thing that they believe about themselves is what their creator says about them. And if their creator doesn't say that about them, then they know that that's not true. Okay? And that is the kind of teacher that we are becoming. We're becoming a teacher who the only thing that we believe about ourselves is something that's coming from God's love, God's judgment, not what we've learned about ourselves, not what we've learned from somebody else. And so that's what we're working toward, so that our learning can become complete, which means so that our joy and our peace can become complete, which means not vulnerable, which means consistent. Now, when a teacher's perception of themselves is based on God's judgment and not their own, thus does this teacher share God's will and bring God's thoughts to still deluded minds. Okay? It's like we were saying earlier, when you accept what? When your perception of yourself is based on God's judgment and not your own, you are sharing love's will and you are bringing love's thoughts to still deluded minds. So that's our job. It's another part of our job description, is bringing God's loving thoughts to still deluded minds. Bringing loving thoughts to still deluded minds which do not know that there is no sin, that do not know that they are guiltless and innocent forever. Deluded minds that do not know that they are only love and that they deserve only love. Those who do not understand that are deluded. And our job as teachers and healers is to bring the truth to these still deluded minds, to bring God's only loving thoughts. Because what is God? Only love. That's what God is. That's all that God is. Now, this teacher whose learning is perfect, this teacher is forever one because this teacher is as God created them. This teacher has accepted their universal self, the Christ in them, and they are healed. Okay? So when you have accepted the universal Christ in yourself and transcended your bodily identification, you are healed. That's what it means to become healed. It means to transcend your former identification as a body, to accept yourself as the universal self that we all share, which of course refers to as the Christ in us. And this is how you're healed. And you could do this right now. You could do this anytime. This is how healing occurs. This isn't when you have become enlightened. This is when you need healing. You remember that your true identity is sourced from your Creator, who is only love, which means you are only love. And also that you, as a spirit, are not a body. Now, remembering that, choosing to remember that, even if you don't believe it in the moment, is how you bring healing to your mind. Sickness, according to the Course in Miracles, is you not knowing the truth about yourself in your mind. So the Course in Miracles says that the source of sickness is in our mind, our minds, which are not accepting the truth that we are spirits, that we are deathless, that we are guiltless, and that we are connected. So as we remember the truth about ourselves, we are healing. That's what it means to be healed. To be healed is to remember, oh yeah, I didn't create myself. And so let me check in with the thoughts of my Creator who did create me. And I am going to accept that. Okay? That is what it means to heal your mind. And because we're connected, it means that now it's impossible that you be healed alone. So as you accept the healing of your own mind, you automatically are sharing this truth, this healing, with still deluded minds. Now, that's doing your job. And when you are doing your function, the function that you were given by God itself, you cannot help but feel complete. The Course in Miracles tells us that the lonely are those who see no role for them to fulfill in mankind's awakening. That's how A Course in Miracles defines those who are lonely. So the opposite of loneliness is stepping forward and saying, I would like to take my place among the healers of the world. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that means. But Course in Miracles tells us you don't have to. That your job is just to accept your role that's been given you by love. And then love provides all the means and all the opportunities and all the people that could be helped by you, at this time. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so saying you transcending your identification with your body and becoming your true self as a limitless, deathless, timeless spirit. That's how you become a child of God. That's how you go from being a child of man to a child of God, according to the Course in Miracles, where you go from my identity is my physical identity and my name and my identity comes from my physical identity. You go to my identity is a spiritual identity as a child or a creation of God. Now, you going from a child of the body to a child of God is not really a change. It's just a change of your mind. When you become who you are, it's not like you've changed from what you used to be to what you are. The only change has occurred in your mind about yourself. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to become something I'm not. How wonderful. It's like I'm going to stop being what I'm not and just be what I am and have always been and will always be. A guiltless, deathless spirit that is eternal, that is limitless. So it's not really a change. It's just a change of mind about who you already are. Wonderful. Less for me to do. Fantastic. When you change from being just a guilty, mortal, fallible body to being a child of God, an eternal spirit, nothing external alters. So when you become who you really are, when you accept who you really are, nothing external alters. It's just that now everything internal reflects only the love of God. So when you accept your function and you become what you are, which is the healing journey. It's not that, oh, I'm going to change who I am to be something more, something. The healing journey is where you just accept what you've always been as a child of God, deathless, limitless, guiltless, and only love. So
Not a limited body.
I'm not a limited, guilty body that's gonna die, maybe today. It says, so nothing external alters. When you accept the truth about yourself, nothing external alters. It's just that everything internal now reflects only the love of God. That's the only thing you've got going on the inside. That's the only thing that changes. That the only thing going on the inside in your mind reflects only the love of God. That's all that's there. Not the love of God and what are we going to do about them who are trying to do this. Okay. And when you accept yourself as you were created by love, then what happens is you can no longer fear God. When you accept the truth about yourself as guiltless and innocent and limitless spirit, then you can no longer fear God, because when you've accepted the truth about yourself, now your mind sees no need for punishment. When you accept the true guiltlessness of who you are, you no longer need to fear God. Isn't that interesting? That the fear of God comes from perceiving guilt within yourself. That's where the fear of God comes from. The fear of God did not originate in God. God is not fear. God is only love. And love and fear are opposites. They cannot coexist. So God cannot be love and fear. Okay? And the only reason that you could ever fear God is that if you saw guilt and shame within you and then feared punishment from God. To fear God is to fear his punishment, believing that within you is something that is guilty and sinful. The Course in Miracles is reminding us that it's impossible for there to be any sin in us, because God is the one who created us. God is our author, and God itself is guiltless, and God created us like God itself, pure, guiltless, sinless forever. Now, that's God's judgment on us. That is not our judgment on us. And our function as teachers and healers is, for once and for all, to accept ourselves as we were created by God, which means to accept ourselves as guiltless and sinless forever. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't be mistaken. Obviously, we can be greatly mistaken, especially when we're thinking that we are our own authors, that we created ourselves. Yes, we can be mistaken, but we cannot be guilty. Because that is not how God created us to be. Okay? That's what we are learning how to accept without any exceptions as teachers and healers for humanity. Now, when you accept that you are guiltless and innocent as God created you, and so is everybody else, you could no longer fear God. Isn't that interesting? I love that. Fearing God only comes because you don't know the truth about yourself, and you are believing that you can make yourself guilty and sinful because of whatever you've done with your body, right? So when you accept the truth about yourself, you could no more fear God. Oh, I love it. And you know how fun life is when you no longer fear God. Life becomes so much more fun and abundant and joyful and safe and supportive. Because when you no longer fear God, then now you can turn to God and say, help me, God. Or, God, what does this mean? What is this for, God? Or, hey, God, what's your loving will here? And receive that and experience that. You know, what all that God is and all that God has and does is 100% available to all of God's creations. And if you're not experiencing abundance and joy and peace and all that is an attribute of God, all that comes from God, it can only be because you're not asking God. You're not wanting God's truth. You're not wanting God's judgment. You're just wanting to believe whatever you learned in the past about being guilty, bad, and wrong. So if you're not experiencing life as abundant and joyous and free and limitless, that it means you're not asking God for God's truth. That could be the only reason. Because the moment that you ask God for God's truth, God's reality, God's will, God's love, then all that you're going to experience is the love and the abundance and the joy and the limitlessness that is an aspect of God and that God gives freely to all of God's creations. No exceptions, no conditions. All right. So, it says God's teachers appear to be many. Okay, that's us. This is where we come in. God's teachers appear to be many. Why do God's teachers appear to be many even though they're really all one? Well, because that God's teachers appear as many is the world's need. The world hasn't accepted the truth, and so the world needs lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of teachers. And that's why God's teachers appear as many teachers instead of one teacher, which they really are. Okay. And now, how is it that God's teachers are really one, even though God's teachers appear to be many? How is that? Well, God's teachers are really one because God's teachers are joined in one purpose. And so love's teachers share says God's teachers are joined in one purpose and a purpose that they share with God. And so since God's teachers are joined in one purpose and a purpose they all share with God, then how could God's teachers be separate from each other? So it's kind of a deep concept here that God's teachers, love's teachers, they're really all one because they share a purpose with each other and they share God's purpose. And so how could they be separate from each other? Well, and what does it matter then if God's teachers appear in many forms? If we, God's teachers, love's teachers for mankind, are really all one, then why does it matter if we, love's teachers, appear in many forms? Okay, it's all right that we all look different and act different, you know. God's teachers are many. They come in every form. They come from all religions. God's teachers come from no religions. Some of God's teachers are atheists. God's teachers are old and young and every color and every race and gender and ethnicity. God's teachers are one. Love's teachers are one because they all share one purpose of love. And so what does it matter if we look different or sound different or appear different? It doesn't matter. So if you're meeting somebody and they're teaching love, it don't matter what form they're teaching that love in. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if they're teaching it in this form, that form. It doesn't matter if this teacher teaches love through surfing and this teacher teaches love through some kind of religion. It doesn't matter. God's teachers are all one. They're all the same because they share a purpose with each other and they share a purpose with God. So don't get caught up in the form. God's teachers are many, okay? And so anyone who tells you that love's teachers or God's teacher is only that person or that people or someone who dresses like that or someone who acts like this, then just run the opposite way. Just know that is someone who's not teaching real love. All right? That Diane says shared purpose beyond seeming appearances. Exactly. And how wonderful, when you meet other teachers and healers, how wonderful to remember that we're all the same. It takes all that competitiveness and comparison, all that silly stuff that we do with other teachers and healers, how we do the comparison and the contrast and the competition thing with other teachers and healers. Well, I wish I was successful like them. I wish I had what they have. I wish I was famous like them, or I wish I wasn't famous like that one. That is how we diminish our power as teachers and healers. It's how we diminish and sabotage our own function as teachers and healers for humanity. By comparing and competing and what? Elevating or de-elevating ourselves from other teachers and healers. This is reminding us that all teachers and healers, anyone who said, I just want to be loving, I just want to be a loving force here. Everyone who says that really is sharing and serving the same purpose. And that one purpose is shared with God. So we really are one and the same. We just take different forms. And the reason why we all take different forms, the reason why God's teachers seem to be so many, is because that's what the world needs. The world needs lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of teachers and healers who look different, who appear different, who have a different form and a different face and a different language and a different whatever. The world needs that. That's what the world needs, and that's why we, the teachers of love, come in every different flavor and size and color and ethnicity and race and gender and location and on and on and on and on and on. All right? Beautiful. Diana says, beautifully loving in many forms. Absolutely. So anyone who is loving and is serving the purpose of love is absolutely the same and one as you and serving the same purpose. Just remember that. And so it says, right, so what does it matter if love's teachers then appear in many forms? The minds of love's teachers are one, and their joining is complete. If you both serve love, you are one, and your joining is complete. It says those who share a purpose share a mind as one. And sharing a mind as one is really, really, really cool. Having the experience of a shared mind, joined mind, is extraordinarily exquisite experience of connection and creation. The Course in Miracles says that communication is creation, that joining is creating. So when you recognize that you are joined, that you are one with another, you are creating, you are co-creating with that person, the good, the beautiful, and the holy. What does the good, the beautiful, and the holy do? It helps humanity to wake up from its deluded dream of sacrifice and death and disease and war and disaster. That is what you are doing. That's what you are helping humanity to waken from. Every time that you join love's purpose, God's purpose for the healing of humanity. Now, it says, and now God works through God's teachers as one. God works through God's teachers now as one. For one is what God's teachers are. All right. How wonderful. So I love it. How to allow God to work through you. Okay. God works through us joined. So when we recognize and acknowledge that we are one because we have the same purpose of love, now God works through us. So how does God work? God works through us. Okay. So when we join in service to the one love that we came from, now God works through us. So if you are experiencing a feeling of incompletion or unfulfillment at this time, it is because you are not allowing God to work through you. Instead of letting God work through you by joining in loving purpose with others, you were trying to get something for yourself, like specialness, power, fame, money, physical pleasure. And yes, you may have gotten things of the world, but you did not experience fulfillment. You have not experienced happiness that lasts from what you were trying to get for yourself alone. Service to self. So it says God works through us now as one, because one is what we are. So if you're not experiencing that fulfillment, then you're not working together with another. You're not experiencing God working through you because you're not joining in purpose, loving purpose with others for the good of the rest. Now, all right, I'm going to take a drink of water on that one. I'm going to take a breath on that one. It's so nice teaching with Greg, you know, when one of us has just channeled, then we get to rest while the other one channels. It's like dueling channeling, where you can take a breath. All right. Beautiful. I love it. Beautiful. Now, paragraph 3. So why is the illusion of many teachers of love necessary? The only reason why the illusion of many teachers of love is necessary is because reality is not understandable to the deluded. And back to the deluded. The deluded are those who don't understand reality. They don't understand what's real and true. They think all that they've learned and all their fears and all their angers and all their guilts and all their limitations and all their sicknesses is real. The deluded don't understand what is really true. They don't understand that only love is real and everything else is a delusion. Okay? So the deluded do not understand the nature of reality. They don't understand what the universal truth is for all of creation. Okay? And that's why so many teachers and healers of love are necessary, because reality is not understandable to the deluded. And only a very few can hear God's voice at all. I don't know if you've noticed. Even for people who are trying to hear God's voice, there's so much distractions. It's kind of challenging. Right, Greg? Mm-hmm. Even the few who can hear God's voice, which is those who want to hear God's voice, have to really work at it to quiet their mind in order to do so.
And even they, as it goes on to say, can't do it without a bridge.
Exactly. And it says in context, these very few who can hear God's voice at all, they seem to be the teachers of God, who, though not few in number, are few proportionate to the entire population. So even though there's a lot of teachers of God, in proportion to the entire population of humankind, it seems to be very few. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, only a very few can hear God's voice at all. And that's another definition of the teachers of love. It's those who can hear the voice for love. And it's not because they're special. It's because they want to hear the voice of God. They want to hear the voice for love. Those who want to listen to the voice of love are very few. And even the ones who want to have tremendous challenges quieting their minds, getting quiet enough to hear God's quiet voice. And remember, God is only love, only love. Whatever you've learned about God being something besides love is a delusion. It's a false learning. Thank God. Yeah. Diana says, yep, LOL, even the people who ask for guidance every day. Exactly. Even the people who are doing the workbook every day, learning how to ask for guidance, for love's guidance, love's vision every day, have a challenge in actually hearing it. Because like the Course says that God's answer is heard in the quiet mind. When the mind is quiet, God's answers are heard in quiet. What'd you say?
Distracted.
Yes, not distraction. The opposite of quiet is distracted. And so God's voice is heard in quiet, meaning not distracted. And so only a very few can hear God's voice at all, because only a very few want to, unfortunately. And even the very few who can hear God's voice at all, even these folks cannot communicate God's messages directly through the Spirit which gave those messages. Whew. All right. Right, exactly. So, and that's why those who are still deluded, which is the many of humanity, the many deluded of humanity, they need a medium through which communication becomes possible to those who do not realize that they are spirit. So those who are deluded, those who do not understand that they are spirit, that they are only love, they need a medium through which communication becomes possible. So they need a body. They need you in your body. So that it becomes possible for them to realize that they are spirit. They need a medium, that's you.
In your body.
In your body. They need you, a medium in your body through which communication becomes possible for them who do not realize that they are innocent and that they are spirit. And that's you. That's where you come in. You are the medium. You, with your body, are the medium through which communication to the deluded becomes possible, so that the deluded, can finally come to realize that they are not their body. They are not limited. They are not guilty. They are not mortal, fallible, and full of sin. That they are a spirit, and they are only love. They need a medium. They need you in your body, through which communication becomes possible for them. What a wonderful job. That's what A Course in Miracles says is our natural profession. Your natural profession is to be a medium of communication between those who can't hear the voice for love and the voice for love itself. That's your natural profession as a child of love, a child of light, So, and what that means is that whenever you are using your body as a communication device for those who think they are a body, to remind them, you're not your body, you're a spirit, you're limitless. Whenever you're using your body like that, you are fulfilling your function as a teacher of God. You are taking your place among the healers of the world. You are fulfilling your natural profession. And when you are doing that, you cannot help but experience the abundance, the support, the joy, the ease, the grace of the universe. That is natural. So, you know, fulfilling your function as a medium of communication between the voice for God and those who can't hear the voice for love. When you are doing what you are born to do, you are going to experience universal support. You're going to experience something that truly does fulfill you and also truly does support you. So if you are not experiencing fulfillment and or support from the universe, then you may want to look at what it is how it is that you're using your body. You know, are you using your body as a communication device to reach others who don't know, who think they're a body, to remind them that they're not their bodies and that they're innocent and safe and limitless? And if you if you notice that you haven't been using your body for that, you haven't been fulfilling your function as communicator and medium, rededicate your body to that purpose. Rededicate your body to the purpose that you share with God of bringing the voice for love, hearing it, and then bringing it to those who aren't able yet to hear the voice for love and truth for themselves. Rededicate yourself and rededicate your body to that very holy purpose and function of awakening the children of God to the truth about who they really are as spirits, as guiltless, as deathless, as limitless. And you will experience the fulfillment and the universal support that happens naturally when you are fulfilling your natural profession as a teacher of love. Okay? Rededication. Diana says, yes, I noticed that. Liliana says, bring my children to me. That's right. That is what our Creator is asking us, is love my children. You know, to love me, this is our Creator speaking, of course. To love me is to love my children. It's exactly the way I am with my child. You know, to love me is to love my child, and vice versa, right? And God is telling us the same thing. Love my children. My children are still deluded. My children suffer and languish because they don't know the truth about themselves, because they can't hear the voice for love for themselves yet. They need someone like you in a body that they can see and hear and understand. So our Creator is telling us, love my children, heal my children, speak to my children, use your body to speak to my children, bring my children back to the awareness of my love, my power, which I give to them.
Let my people go.
Let my people go. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think God isn't going to, like, you know, make it worth your while if you bring God's children back to God? I mean, if you found a lost child and you restored that lost child to their worried parents, you don't think that their parents would want to shower you in gratitude? You know, and that's the way it is, and that's our job, is to bring God's children back to God's children. I mean, bring God's children back to God, who only wants to love them and support them and care for them and give to them all that God is. So, what better job? I mean, for real. I mean, there's a job where the benefits are going to be the best benefits that you have ever experienced on any job. That's the ultimate benefits package. Diana says, thank you. This is like exactly what I've been contemplating lately. I love that. Yeah, truly, when you are fulfilling your function as bringing the children of God back to the awareness of who they really are as innocent, guiltless, and limitless, that is abundance. That is the key to abundance. You know, the giving and receiving are one. As you give to others, love, so do you receive it. That really is the key. It really is the key. I love remembering that. So if wherever it is that you're experiencing lack in your life, that's where you're not using your body to give to others, to remind the children of God that they are innocent and that they are loved and that they are limitless and they're not their bodies, right? Because when you are using your body for a communication device for love, then love blesses you profoundly. So lack means I'm not using my body to give, I'm using my body to take. I'm using my body to get something. I'm using my body to get pleasure or pride or something for just me, you know. So think about that in any area of your life right now where you are experiencing the illusion of lack, and decide that you're going to, instead of trying to get something for yourself, that you're just going to focus on being love, giving love, and that's it. Okay. All right. Then it says, hi, Jean. Lovely to see you. It says, all right. Okay, so we are in paragraph 3, and it says, okay. It says, the many who cannot hear the voice for love for themselves, they need a medium through which communication becomes possible to those who don't realize that they are spirit, a body they can see. They need a voice they can understand and listen to without the fear that pure truth would find in them. That's why they need you in your body, through your body. So don't forget that truth can come only where truth is welcomed without fear. So these are folks who can't accept the truth, just pure truth from within their own mind, from God. They need a body they can see. They need a voice they can hear. They need something that they can hear the truth through, that they're not afraid. These folks, the many who can't hear the voice for God, if they heard the voice for God, it would freak them out. It would terrify them. And so they need a way to hear the truth in such a way that doesn't terrify them. You know, so when you call them up on the phone, or you're in front of them, having a cup of coffee with them, reminding them that they are innocent, that is a way that they can accept the truth about themselves without fear, because they can see your body and they can hear your voice. Whereas most people, if they just heard a voice and they didn't see a body, they would call the Ghostbusters or call a priest, you know, or run out of the house. So they need you. So I love it. They don't realize that when they hear your loving voice reminding them of their innocence, they don't realize that they're really hearing God's voice. They don't realize they're really hearing God's loving voice through you. They think they're hearing you. And that's great, because they feel like, well, okay, that's safe. You know, that doesn't freak me out. That's not weird. But the truth is that when you have joined your purpose to God's loving purpose, that they remember that they are innocent, then they are truly hearing the voice for God. They are truly hearing the voice for God. They're just hearing it through you, you know, which helps them to feel safe. All right. Diana says, yes, LOL, makes sense. All right. Now, so again, don't forget that truth can come only where it is welcomed without fear. So, and so do us, love's teachers, need a body, because our unity could not be recognized directly. I love it. Diana says, I was afraid with the 4 questions to ask God what to say and whom to say it to, but today I finally did that. Wonderful. Good job, Diana. And what happened? I love it. The 4 questions. That's love it. You know, asking God, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? Those are Course in Miracles 4 questions. Beautiful. So what happened, Diana, when you asked God those 4 questions today? Yeah. She says, thank you. It was well received and I felt good saying it. Amen. Yeah, there's never been a time when I said that prayer for guidance and for God to use me that something miraculous didn't happen. You know, the real miracle is that when I remember to say it or to ask it. That's the bigger miracle. But every time I've ever said that prayer, then miracles occurred through me. Beautiful. Now we're on paragraph 4. All right. Yet what makes us God's teachers is our recognition of the proper purpose of the body. Isn't that interesting? What makes us teachers of God? It's not that God was like, I pick you, you're so special and wonderful, I love you more than others. No. What makes us a teacher of God is that we recognize the proper purpose of the body. I finally know what my body's really for. Finally, at long last. And that's what makes me a teacher of God, a teacher of love. And as we, the teachers of love, the teachers of God, advance in our profession, we become more and more certain that the body's function is only to let God's voice speak through our body to human ears. Ooh-wee. That's what we, as teachers and healers, that is what we become more and more certain of as we advance in our profession as teachers and healers, teachers of love, okay? So as we advance in our profession as teachers of love, we come more and more to recognize the proper function of our body is, drum roll please, to let love's voice speak through our body to human ears. That is the proper function of our body. Now, is that what you've been using your body for, teacher of God? Did you remember that that's the only function of your body? Okay. The only function of our body is to let love's voice speak through our body to human ears. That's the only proper function. It's the only useful function of our body. And it's going to go on to say that when you're using your body for a function that is not a proper or loving use of your body, then your body will not function optimally according to this section. So that's what we're going to hear. So we're hearing the proper use of my body, the healthy, optimal purpose, function of my body is to let love's voice speak through my body to human ears. That's the only proper or healthy use of my body. And these ears will carry to the mind of the hearer messages which are not of this world. And their minds will understand these messages because of the source of the messages that come through you, through your ears to their ears. So when God's voice speaks through your body to their human ears will be hearing something that is not of this world. And they will understand the messages that their ears hear because of where these messages came from that came through you. They came from God, but the messages of God came through your body to their ears. And when they hear God's messages, love's messages through you, they will recognize that what they're hearing is not a message of the world. They'll recognize that they just heard something and they'll go, far out. That's out of this world. Exactly. Exactly. And
they'll be able to hear what they weren't able to hear without your assistance.
exactly. They'll be able to hear what they weren't able to hear without your assistance, without your body saying it to their ears.
Without your dedication.
And that is the only healthy, loving use of your body. All right. Which means if you're not using your body for this, then your body isn't going to be healthy. It's not going to function optimally. It's not going to be a pleasure to be in your body if you're using your body for an unloving purpose, a purpose that is not what your body is really for now. When you become a teacher of love, now the only purpose of your body is to be a channel, a communication medium through which the messages of love can come from the source of love through your body to others who think they are a body. And so they think they can't hear the voice for love itself. But they'll be able to hear it because it's coming through your body, which is what they think they are. Yes, so when I'm experiencing physical illness or limitation, because of A Course in Miracles, I have learned that, I must be misusing my body for a purpose that is not, what spirit would use my body for. I must be using my body not to allow the messages of God to come through me to others, to remind them that they're not their body. I must be using my body to get some specialness, some pride, some possessions, something for just me. Okay, which is what we learned how to use our bodies for, by the way. This body, like the Course in Miracles talks about how we've learned to, the way we use our bodies is a bait on a hook to catch a bigger fish, to house our specialness and better style. That's what we have been using our bodies for, and according to the Course in Miracles, that's why our bodies get sick and suffer like they do and age as fast as they do. Now, so it says, what does it say? It says, what makes teachers of God, what makes teachers and healers is their recognition of the proper purpose of their body. Okay. All right. And from this understanding of the proper loving purpose of your body will come the recognition in you, a new teacher of love, of what the body's purpose is. The only use there really is for the body. And this lesson about the body's only real use, this lesson is enough to let the thought of unity come in, and what is one is recognized as one. Wow. So what is that? Say what? This lesson of the body's true and only loving purpose and use, this lesson is enough to let the thought of unity come into your mind. All right. What is the real use and purpose and function of my body? Well, it's definitely not what I learned it is. The way I've been using my body in the past was not what my body is really for, and has led to my body experiencing sickness and dis-ease. So dis-ease is when you are using your body for not its proper function as assigned by love, which is to be a communication device, such that the voice for love can speak through you to those who don't know the truth about themselves and who couldn't hear the truth about themselves unless it was coming through another body that they could see.
They're too distracted.
They're too distracted, and they're too afraid. most people are too afraid to hear a voice they cannot see. Right? What happens when you hear a voice you cannot see? You're like, am I going crazy? Kind of like Helen Schuckman. She heard a voice telling her, this is a Course in Miracles, please take notes. And it was frightening. It was frightening. It took her a lot of faith and comforting from her friend and colleague Bill Thetford for her to actually listen to this voice that was not coming through a body. It's really terrifying. And most people are too afraid to hear a voice that is not coming through a body. And that's why love needs your body to speak the words of truth, the words of love, the words of God to people in a way, in a form that they can understand and hear without fear. And that's the only right use of your body. That is the only healthy use of your body. Whew. And we know how we've used our bodies to get love, to possess love, to get specialness, to get pride, to get competition and pride. It has led to us experiencing ourselves as prisoners in our own body. And I love it that real health just comes from a rededication of your body to a holy purpose, a loving purpose that isn't just benefiting you. It benefits others and then heals your body in the process. I love how the Course in Miracles talks about how the optimal functioning of the body. And it's not anything that you've ever heard about the way to have a healthy body. It's all about the purpose you're using your body for. Okay? All right. And teachers and healers are those who have said, my body is to be used by love, for love. That's it. That's what my body is for. And the teachers and healers who have dedicated their bodies to that purpose, those are the ones who've experienced the most joy and pleasure and fun in their bodies than they ever did before they rededicated their body to a holy purpose. So it's not like, oh, I use my body, I dedicate my body for a holy purpose, and then, I have no joy or pleasure in my body. It's the exact opposite. When you are using your body for a truly holy purpose, a healing purpose for others, then you experience the most pleasure and joy and abundance in your body than you ever did before. That's a fact. I'm a personal witness to that. And I've seen it in all the people that I teach and learn Course in Miracles with. All right, beautiful. So it says the teachers of love appear to share the illusion of separation. In other words, the teachers of God, the teachers of love, appear to be different. They appear to be separate. But because of what the teachers of love use their bodies for, the teachers of truth do not believe in the illusion of separate bodies, despite the appearance of being in separate bodies. That's what the teachers of God, they appear to share the illusion of separation and differences. They appear to be different, but because of what they use their bodies for, they do not share the illusion of differences. Great. So that was paragraph 4. All right. Everybody take a breath with me. I have 2 more paragraphs to do. And then when we finish our 2 paragraphs, then we'll do a integration meditation. And that's a wonderful thing about doing class online, is that I don't have to worry too much about time. If you're done with watching, you can turn it off at any time, right? So that's a wonderful thing. So, because normally the classes I do are an hour and a half. But the wonderful thing about doing it online is if we go over, that's okay. If you need to go, you can go, watch later. It's so wonderful. I love teaching online. All right, paragraph 5. The central lesson for the teachers of love, the teachers and healers for mankind and humanity. The central lesson is always this. What you use the body for, the body will become to you. Oh, that's the central lesson of all the teachers and healers for humanity, regardless of whatever form your healing and teaching takes. The central lesson of the teachers and healers of humanity is what you use the body for, your body will become to you. All right, how about some clarification on that? Well, if you use your body for sin or guilt, which means attack, by the way, then you will see your body as guilty. And you will experience your body attacking you. You ever experienced your body like, my body's attacking me? You know, it's like, I got this rash, or I got this condition, my body is attacking me. That's what fibromyalgia is. That's what autoimmune disorders are. My body's attacking me. It says, but if you're using your body for guilt, which means I'm using my body to make other people feel guilty. I'm using my body to make me feel guilty. I look at their bodies and I compare my body to their bodies and I make myself feel guilty, make myself feel ashamed. Okay? That's using your body for guilt. That's using your body for attack. If you're going to use your body for comparison and pride, and comparison and competition with other people's bodies, then you are using your body for attack on you. Right? Because how, you know, of course, you're going to see your body as coming up short. So if you use your body for sin, which means attack, which means guilt, which means comparison and competition with other bodies, then you will see the body as shameful. You will see the body as sinful and guilty. You will hate the body. You will say, my body is so ugly. My body is so old. My body is so weak. My body is so horrible. My body is so grotesque, whatever. If you're using the body for guilt, which is attack, which is the same as comparison and competition, then you will see the body as shameful. You will see the body as ugly. You will see the body as worthy of attack. I can totally relate to that. I have used my body plenty times for giving other people guilt. I've used my body for giving me guilt. I've used my body for comparison. I've used my body for competition. I've used my body for pride. And then when I looked at my body, I was like, ew, yuck, ew, gross, ugly, bad, old, right? So, you know, I'm looking in the mirror going, oh, my hair makes my body look bad today, but it's not that. It's whatever purpose I'm using my body for that is determining how I'm experiencing my own body, according to Course in Miracles. And because you see your body as guilty, not good enough, shameful, then your body is weak. And when your body is weak, then your body suffers and your body dies. Wow. So in other words, when you're attacking your body, when you're giving your body shame and guilt because you're comparing your body to other people's bodies, or you're using your body to give guilt to other people, then you are going to see your body as something weak. You're going to experience your body as weak. When you attack your body, you go, ooh, ugly, oh, blah, When you attack your body by comparing your body to other bodies and competition with other people's bodies, you are making your body weak. You are literally lowering your own immune system in your body. And what happens when you lower the immune system in your body? You're making your body weak. And when the immune system of your body has been lowered, then your body gets sick and your body dies. But not because you caught a virus, not because you got old, but because you're using your body for an unloving purpose, a guilty purpose, giving other people guilt, using your body in comparison with other bodies to give your own body guilt and shame. Okay, that is, and remember, the central lesson for us teachers and healers is what you use your body for, your body will become to you. What are you using your body for? Are you using it so that the voice for love and truth can come through you to others who can't hear the voice of love and truth for themselves, to remind them that they're innocent, they're not their body, they're guiltless? Is that what you're using your body for? Okay, well, when you are, your body will work optimally. And when you're not, then your body will get sick and it will be weak and it will die. All right. Now, if you use your body for purposes of bringing the word of God, which is the word of love, to those who don't have God's word of love in their awareness, it was saying, actually, it's an instruction. So it's an instruction. It's saying, use your body for purposes of bringing the word of love to those who do not have the word of love. And if you do that, then your body becomes healthy. Your body becomes holy. When you use your body for the purpose of bringing the word of love to those who don't have the words of love, then your body becomes healthy. Your body becomes holy. Your body becomes a touchstone to the loving thoughts of the universe itself. And because your body is being used for a holy purpose, a loving purpose, then your body cannot be sick and nor can your body die. When or because your body is being used for a loving and a holy purpose. Wow. You can hear here what A Course in Miracles has to say about health and healing relative to the body. And A Course in Miracles tells us all throughout the text that the condition of the body is according to the purpose to which you are putting your body. And what are you using your body for? Are you using your body for sin and guilt, which means attack? Are you using your body for comparison and competition and pride? Are you using your body only for pleasure? Well, if you are using your body for this, your body will be weak. Your body's immune system will be weak and your body will get sick and die. But you could be using your body only for purposes of communication. Listening to the voice of love in your own mind and then using your body to share the ideas of love with others who think they are a body, to remind them that they are not their body, that they are innocent. And when you use your body for this loving, which means holy purpose, then your body cannot be sick and it cannot die. And then, if you're using your body for this holy purpose, then when your body's usefulness is done, then your body is just laid by. And that is all. That's the kind of physical death I want to experience. Where, my body's usefulness is done, and now I just lay my body down. I just lay it by. Just like a bicycle. Just like an outfit of clothes. You know, my body's usefulness is done. I've used my body to be a communication device for love, so that those who could not hear the voice for love could hear it through my body. And now, when my body's usefulness is done, then I just lay it aside. I lay it down. Okay? And the time when my body has, when my body's usefulness is done, and I lay my body aside, and that is all, my mind makes this decision. It's not something that happens to me tragically. Oh, she was just riding her bike and then a tree fell on her. Okay. When my body's usefulness is done and I lay my body aside and that is all, that is a decision that's made by my mind. Not something that a tragic accident that happens to my body. I like this version much better than the, oh gosh, something happened that was unexpected and tragic that happened to her body and her body died. This decision about when to lay my body aside because its usefulness is done, that decision is made by my mind. Like my mind makes all decisions which are responsible for the body's conditions. Whew. I really like the option about the ending of the body that A Course in Miracles offers us and reminds us is possible. Absolutely. And to have a physical death, which is literally where my body has fulfilled its usefulness and then my body is just laid aside and that's all. That is a physical death that is just a physical death. It's not my death, it's just my body's death. Bodies don't last forever. So all bodies die because bodies don't last. Bodies weren't created by the eternal. And so bodies don't last. Bodies die. And that's how you know that the body wasn't created by God, according to A Course in Miracles. And so, but there is a way to have a physical death, according to A Course in Miracles, that is a gentle, where it's a decision made by your mind, not an accident that happens to you when you weren't expecting it. There is a way to lay the body aside and gently, when your mind decides that your body has its usefulness is done. And the way that you experience this form of physical death is by remembering to use your body only as a communication device from love to love, using your body to listen to the voice for love and then share that voice for love with those who cannot hear the voice for love for themselves yet, but a voice they can hear in a body they can see. I love that, because that's the kind of physical death. I don't want my body to last forever. The body can't last forever, and so to hear that there's a way to experience physical death that is peaceful when you decide when it is a miracle. It's a gift, and I'm so grateful for that reminder. I'm so grateful for that teaching. And in the meanwhile, I can experience that experience by rededicating my body to only being used for loving purposes, using it as a communication device to reach others who think they are a body, to remind them that they are not a body. Using my body to reach those who think that they are guilty, to remind them that they are innocent. Now, it says, yet the teacher of love, that's us, does not make this decision alone. So this decision about when your body has achieved its usefulness and it's time to lay it aside, that decision is not made by you alone. Wonderful. To make that decision about when to lay the body down alone, it would be to give the body another purpose from the purpose that keeps the body holy. Now,
not to do things separately.
Exactly. The decision of when your body has achieved its usefulness and it's time to lay the body aside, that decision is not made by you alone. Right. Now, what does that mean? That means God's voice, love's voice, will tell you when you have fulfilled your role, just as God's voice tells you what your function is. And you do not suffer either in going or remaining. I love it. Sickness is now impossible to you, the teacher of love. Now you're not gonna suffer either in staying in your body or leaving your body. You're not gonna suffer in staying in your body, and you're not gonna suffer in leaving your body, because God's voice, love's voice in you, is telling you when you have fulfilled your role and when your body is no longer needed for that, and that you can lay it down. But rest assured that you're not the one making that decision by yourself, and rest assured that when you're being guided about your body's purpose, then you won't suffer in staying in your body, and you won't suffer in leaving your body. I love that. I don't want to suffer staying in my body, and I don't want to suffer leaving my body. Well, yeah, and then here's the way to experience that. Beautiful. I love hearing this. All right, last paragraph. Hi, Pam. Lovely to see you, dear. And hi, Larry Kirby. Lovely to see you. And Chris Morrow. Lovely to see you, dear. Irene says, what you use the body for, your body will become to you. That is it. Okay, here we go. Last paragraph, you truth troopers. Oneness and sickness cannot coexist. So truth and sickness cannot coexist. We, love's teachers, choose to look on dreams a while. And us choosing to look on the body a while, that's a conscious choice. Because we have learned that all choices are made consciously. That means with full awareness of their consequences. Woo! That's what we've learned as teachers of love. As teachers of God, that's what we have learned. The right use of the body, and also that all choices are made consciously, which means with full awareness of our choices' consequences, even if you do not believe that or recognize that. But that's what teachers of love, that's what healers come to recognize and learn, that all choices are made consciously, which means with full awareness of the consequences of all of our choices. That's what it means. That's what you learn as a teacher and a healer. When you learn that, you truly are a teacher and a healer for humanity. Because the world says otherwise. The world does not say that. The world says the opposite. So when you have come to the awareness that all of your choices are made consciously, which means with full awareness of their consequences, then you have become a teacher and a healer, because that's the opposite. Now you're bringing a message to the world that is beyond this world, because the world doesn't believe that. The world believes only in total victimness. The dream believes in victimness, but who would put their faith in the world and what the world believes once what the world believes is recognized for what it is? Awareness of dreaming is the real function of you, of us, love's teachers. I'll say that again. Awareness of dreaming is the real function of love's teachers. Oh, I'm dreaming. I think I'm in a body that can die. I'm dreaming. I'm in a world where it seems like war is real and love is not. I'm dreaming, because that can't be true. That can't be real. I must be dreaming. Awareness of dreaming is the real function of humanity's teachers and healers. And love's teachers, humanity's teachers and healers, they watch the figures in the world, they watch the dream figures in the world come and go and shift and change and suffer and die and born. Yet, God and love's teachers are not deceived by the comings and the goings of the dream figures. Okay? The teachers and healers of humanity, they watch the figures in the dream shift and change, suffer and die, but they are not deceived by what they see. The teachers and healers of humanity, they recognize that to behold a dream figure as sick and separate is no more real than to behold a body as healthy and beautiful. That's what the teachers and healers of humanity recognize. Unity alone is not a thing of dreams. And it is unity alone that the teachers and healers of humanity acknowledge as behind the world, beyond all seeing, and yet surely theirs. So that's what the teachers and healers of humanity see, beyond all the doings, the comings and goings of the bodies that suffer and that die and come and go and born and die, and all that the bodies do. The teachers and healers of humanity realize that the only thing that's real and true and not a dream is unity. You know, the eternal nature of the spirit that we are. The teachers and healers, that's what they recognize, and that's what they acknowledge. They see all the different bodies coming and going and doing this and that, suffering and dying, born, dying, but they realize that that all they're seeing is a dream. Because reality, there isn't bodies that are born and bodies that die and bodies that suffer and bodies that come and go. They realize that what is true in reality is unity. Unity and eternalness. And so even though we see the different bodies coming and going, suffering and getting sick and dying, we know that the only thing that really is true is that we're all one and that we don't die. And we see that beyond all the figures coming and going in the world. And that is our healing, the healing of our minds. And it's also the gift that we give to humanity. It's also the way that we help humanity to awaken. All right. Beautiful. So that's what we do as teachers and healers. At least that's what we're learning to do as teachers and healers of humanity. We're learning how to fulfill our function. We're learning our job description. We're learning how to do our job as messengers of love and truth to the world that doesn't know how to hear those for themselves yet. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is how it heals them. This is how it heals us. Beautiful. And what does it say? You are the light of the world. You know, the saviors of the world is not someone who's going to be coming down on a white cloud, you know, for the special people. You know, the healers and saviors of the world are us. Us. Wanting to be helpful, wanting to be healing, and joining and recognizing that we're one with everybody else who wants to do the same thing. Okay? Us who join our will to the will of God, which just wants its children healed and happy. So I appreciate you all. And so announcements are the announcements for my classes, Monday classes, and the classes I do with Greg, and the classes that I do at the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center every Sunday in person in Denver. Those are all in the description of this class. If you are watching this class on YouTube and you would like to support this Miracles Ministry and extend this message out into the world for greater healing of humanity, then like, share, and subscribe. That's the best way to do it. And if you're watching this on Facebook and you would like to extend and expand these ideas out into the world, then just share it on your YouTube feed. All right. Beautiful. So those are announcements. And also, I am a holistic psychotherapist. And I offer Miracle Psychotherapeutic sessions for folks who are Miracle students, but they would like some psychotherapy from a Course in Miracles perspective. If you are needing some support in help in remembering the truth for yourself while you're going through some kind of transition or challenge right now, just know that I'm available to help you to apply these ideas to whatever you're going through, to help you come to peace and resolution and joy and abundance in that situation sooner than later. And the best way to reach me is to see the details in the class description about how to reach me. All right, now I'm going to just do a 2-minute integration meditation, and then that'll be it. And I so appreciate you joining this session, this healing circle today. So appreciate your energy and your open mind and your open heart. I appreciate that. All right, so I want you to close your eyes if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery. And just take a breath. And just breathe and feel. Feel what these ideas feel like in your mind, in your heart, in your body. Now I want you to bring a situation or a relationship into your awareness that is a situation or relationship where you are experiencing any kind of dis-ease. A situation where you're experiencing dis-ease in your body, or a relationship where you're experiencing dis-ease in that relationship. Either of these situations, I want you to do just a very brief inventory of what you have been using your body for in that situation or in that relationship. Had you been using your body for comparison, competition, pride, getting? Had you been using your body only for love? I want you to ask yourself, how is it that I've been using my body in this situation or relationship? Was I using my body for guilt and attack? Just notice the connection between how you were using your body and how the situation or relationship was being felt by you. And in the situation where your body is experiencing sickness or dis-ease of any kind, I want you to ask yourself, how is it that I have been using my body? How is it that I've been using my body that my body is now sick, weak? How is it that I've been using my body besides as a communication device to reach other people who think they are a body, to remind them they are not their body, that they are guiltless and sinless and limitless? Beautiful. Now, I want you to rededicate your body. I want you to rededicate your body to being a communication device that enables other people to hear the voice for love in a way they couldn't hear it for themselves, through your body, through your words. Rededicate your body right now to being a communication device for the ideas of love, that they be heard by those who can't hear the voice for God for themselves yet. Rededicate your body to a holy, to a healing purpose. Tell yourself, my body no longer serves as a means to get specialness, pleasure, pride. Tell yourself, I no longer use my body to get specialness, to get pride, to get love. Tell yourself, the only purpose of my body in this situation or this relationship is that I would listen for the voice of love in myself and use my body to share, to communicate the words of love to those who cannot hear it for themselves. I am a teacher of love, and my body is my instrument. Healing, communicating the truth to the children of God is my natural profession, and I accept my job gratefully. Beautiful. All right, you guys. Way to take your place among the healers of the world. I'm proud of you. You should feel good about your work in this class today. I appreciate you all more than I can say. And this class, if you're watching this on Facebook, know that you can go to my YouTube class, my YouTube page very soon, and see this on YouTube as well. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you next time I see you.